Right. Good morning to you all.
Good morning,
Hello.
sir.
Okay. I say audible for you now. Right. Today's 8 participants. So you had lecture this morning? No?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Right. Today we are going to discuss about the digital and mass media extension. Actually, we just discussed about what is extension and rural developments and the public and private partnership and public extension approach. So this is my 4th lecture. So today we are going to discuss about the digital and mass media extension. So we will actually go throughout the course, actually not in depth in your rough understanding about what is digital extension and what is mass media extension, how we can use digital different sources and how we can use different mass media sources and approaches for extension purposes, especially for development extension. Right. Actually, today I hope to give you assignments also. In the mid part of the lecture, I will give you that assignments also. Right. So before actually go to the digital extension or digital or mass media extension, first we have to go, we have some understanding about the what is digital governance. Actually, 2-3 keywords are there to give some, or to you should have some understanding about what is those. So this is a special two keywords you have to keep in mind. So actually, digital governance and the digital agriculture governance. So digital governance actually it's mean that it is for establishing accountability roles and decision making authority. Actually, with the digital governance we give some accountability roles and decision making authority for individual people who work in the organizations, right? Accountability role and decision making authority for an organization's digital presence, which mean the website, maybe websites, mobile sites, social media channels, so any other internet or web enabled product or services. So whatever the products we use, maybe internet, web, mobile sites, so social channels, so any other product or services we can use to give some accountability approach, because most of things we are with the responsibility, we are not with the accountability. Therefore with the digital exposure, it's become accountable and role, and it's give decision making authority for individuals, decision making authority for individuals. So this is called digital governance. So these are 2-3 words you need to know. And the digital agriculture governance, actually it is also protocol and procedure of developing and maintaining and distribution of digital innovation. Maybe that may be product or that may be service for the betterments of the farmer. Whatever the things you do, maybe distribution or developing or maintaining digital product or services for betterments of the farmer, that's called digital agricultural governance. Digital governance and the digital agriculture governance, these two keywords are very special because without having that policy approaches, actually digital governance is a kind of policy approaches. Sri Lanka is now gradually becoming digital nations, but speed is very slow, but it's gradually. The also agricultural sector also gradually approaching to digital agriculture or digital farmer also becoming a digital farmer, but the speed is very slow compared to the other countries. But with compared to the region, we also are in okay level, right? The importance of the digital extension, I think you should know, is the quality assurance of the content is assurance, because normal extension, so with the personal extension approaches, what happen is we bring some information and convey some informations to the farmer, whatever the people, but the quality assurance is depends on the individual persons, right? But with the digital approaches, the amount of information sending, quality of the information, and the accuracy of the information and the correctness and whatever the assurance we can give to the content we develop to the extension, digital extension approaches, and the regulation and standardization. So here actually transaction and engagement process, that mean actually the digital extension mean it's a one of broad area. It is not just sending information. Actually, it is what it's a part is sending informations, digital banking, using GPS and the transport system, storage, money, the markets and everything's are there with the digital platform. So that is called digital extension. Actually, not a single part. Normally, when we say digital extension, it will you will feel it as a narrow definitions, sending informations via the digital source. But actually, it is not. It is such a broad approaches, production to consume, entire supply chain. You know, they are all the steps are touched with the digital products. That is called digital extension. That is why regulations and standardization of transaction engagement process can be done, can standardize all the transaction and engagement process. And the collaboration and complementary of digital extension delivery. Actually, you can collaborate with public, private NGOs and others, and the complementary. This means that can get together and do that approaches. And the strategic alliance in the priority areas of intervention. So that means in here actually we are discussing what is importance of digital extension. So strategically we can prioritize the area according to the priorities of the supply chains, and it will help to directing investments and also providing technical supports. These are the 5-6 key points. The importance of digital extension in current agricultural law development extension scenario. So when you look at the digital ecosystem, there are a lot of participants, so a lot of key holders, or a lot of stakeholders are there. These are few: governments, private sector, the civil society, regional bodies, financial institutions, and the donor institutions, the people who are funding for the digital extension projects, and the farm organization. So when you look at the agricultural supply chain, all the peoples, all the sub parts are considered as a ecosystem. When you go for digital extension, all the parts should be considered. Otherwise, the accuracy or effectiveness will be drop, or it will not work properly. Right. So now you know what is digital governance. Actually, that is a keyword. It's defined the policy approach of the entire country. Right. It's a digital governance. All the whatever the area, accountability, role, and decision making authority give for the people who are dealing with the developments. Right. In agriculture, we call it agricultural digital governance. Whatever the digital product we use for betterment of the farmer. So there, when we focus on agriculture, actually, as we explained, as a quality controlling, no quality assuration, regulation and standardization, collaboration, strategic approach. Otherwise, you can prioritize strategically, and investments and the technical support. These are the key importance area. And when we go for the digital ecosystem, all the people should be considered as a ecosystem, right? When you look at these 2-3 slides before, these are the few models we can learn that in Sri Lanka or some other countries use digital sources. There are a lot of I will discuss in later slides what are the different digital extension products actually have used in different countries. These are the few models, right? Food and nutrition, food security and nutrient security focused digital extension in today's in Sri Lankan scenario. Public-private partnership approach is there. to educate about the nutrition, or they educates about the foods, right? And the value chain digital extension, which mean that the market focus. Actually, most of private sectors they use different products, apps, and some market actually e-market, e-commerce products like things for developing market sectors, focusing markets value chain of the digital extension, and the work with governments. So some products are there relations with governments, but it's difficult, and the government is with very huge autonomy. But there are some models are there to work with governments, and the extension service registered with public authorities for accountabilities is that means that services are given with the accountability. That model actually Department of Agriculture is we can see as one examples, but they are given good countable service via the different digital extension product. And the resilience and sustainable agriculture cluster, actually cooperatives, farmer organization, and remote corporations, the private public partners, they get together, they work with sustainability as well as the resilience, especially with the climate resilience. So sustainable development, sustainable agriculture sector. These are the few models of digital extension. In Sri Lankan scenario, actually, we have very limited products, very limited actually to take as example of the digital extension product. But I will discuss later with you what are the internationally, what are the regional countries they have developed as a digital extension product. But in Sri Lankan scenario, it is very limited. But also there are some private sector products also there. But actually, sometimes we can't define it as a digital product. It's some kind of primary product, actually, not such complex and digitally utilized. So these are some examples. Actually, maybe some example may not match with the digital, but we have to take because it is due to the limitation of Sri Lankan agricultural value chain. Right? අපිට එච්චර products digitally available නැහැ ලංකාව ඇතුලේ. Agriculture sector එකේ. Other sectors වල available. Right? In DOA websites, call center service, ESMS, right? And the Kushi FM web radio, and the use of different Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, YouTube like things. And M-Nutrition's project dialogue and CABI is handled with the Department of Agriculture. And the market price information systems and the market intelligence system in progress in it's actually biodiversity, food, nutrition, seed productions, and the national food production program is also, I think, with Department of Agriculture. So these are the few example of Sri Lankan products. Actually, the website is sometime may not fit some digitally we can consider, but products are limited within Sri Lankan scenario. In this slide, we are discussing actually where the area we have identified as a key area to invest in digitalizations, right? Or digital extension, or these are the area we should focus on digital products to introduce to the market. One first area is actually marketplace for agriculture. And actually, in Sri Lanka, there is no well-developed e-marketplace. The few of them are there with small private sector people who are selling their product through the online platforms. Majority of them are focused on the social media, but actually not properly developed e-market platform in Sri Lanka for agriculture product. This is one of area. Still, we have big potential to invest. And the integrated agricultural advisory service. So we have different advisory services. So Department of Agriculture, they have advisory service, and the Department of Export Agriculture, they have, and sometime Sri Lanka Tea Research Institute, Coconut Research, and rubber research, even a lot of private sectors. A lot of people are doing advisory services, but the digital product we can develop to integrate it this whole platform into one area because it is one of necessary requirement. The reason is some farmers they are doing crop cultivations, and they have also coconuts in their home gardens. Sometimes they have some other plantations crops, some spices are there. Therefore, the small holders or small farmer have to approach different platform in different times. So therefore, big potential to integrate all the different advisory services into one platform. This is one of requirement in Sri Lanka we have identified. And the fruit and non-fruit crop production real-time data system. This is also one of needy requirement in Sri Lankan scenario, because the crop production is really depend on the farmers' perception and farmers' decisions. Sometimes that is why the production some season they come very too much of productions come to the market. In some season the production is drop. Therefore, the price fluctuation also very high in food crop production market. Due to that, actually farmers also some season they are facing huge loss. In some season they take a huge margin. Therefore, we hope actually this is the area we have identified. Food production real-time data system should be there. Then we can identify what is the total requirements of the country food productions, and then we can demarcate the total land area requirements for the particular crop. So as example, so for the paddy, for this amounts of land, for the maize, for this amount land, for other vegetables, this amount land, then product quantity or quantity supply will not fluctuate. Also the price also will not fluctuate. So it is good for the sustainability of the agriculture system of the Sri Lanka. We have identified real-time data system should be there. Still there, but it is not in the digital format, right? And the pest surveillance system, actually e-pest surveillance system also there, because sometimes the misuse of agrochemicals or the overuse, or sometimes actually misuse is there. The people, so farmers are with limited knowledge. The identification of the pest is very difficult for sometimes them, and they use over and over again the same pesticide without identifying the pest. So therefore, the e-pest surveillance system should be there. And the smart water management system, actually this is maybe good with the irrigations department sometimes, because some we have experienced that sometimes the irrigations people, they release water in the times they don't want water for the farmers. So sometimes they don't allow, or they don't release water for farming. So the water wastages also have identified. Therefore, water management's digital platform should be actually it is one of key area to invest in Sri Lankan scenario. And the logistic management information system, actually the transport, storage, and the cool houses and the warehouses, like logistic management information system should be there, because we have identified that the post-harvest loss of Sri Lankan value chain is around 40 to 30 to 40%. It's around 35%. We can average 40 to 30 to 40%. So therefore, the logistic management information system should be there. Then farmer can identify where the transport available, where the storage available, where the warehouses available. With that, they can manage. They can reduce the post-harvest loss percentage, right? And the integrated natural resource management information system also should be there, because some farmers are there, they are having enough lands. Some farmers are feeling difficulties not having enough land. So if there is some land registry or land to farmers to know about where the land's available, how we can invest on land, or how we can rent out the land, like that. integrated natural resource management system is one of key area, because the land limitation and other resource limitation we are facing in Sri Lanka. Research and Technology Information Gateway, this is also one of the area in Sri Lanka we have identified to go for digital product, because the research and technology developments are there with different research and R&D organizations, but actually some products are not matched with the farmers' requirement. Sometimes there are some products, but farmers don't know. So therefore, that research and technology information gateway should be there. And the e-wildlife surveillance system, this is also related to the agriculture. So tracking the elephants, so like that, maybe some example. And the agri-med data services, early warning system. So this is weather related product should be actually, we should invest. Sri Lankan agricultural supply chain should be strength with the agri-med. Meteorology and weather is one of key area. Still we have, but it is not enough level. And the social networking among the agricultural users, so that platform actually to share the success stories, share the knowledge, and share the experience with the agricultural user, like social network platform. And the farm mechanization information services. These are the few area we have identified actually as a key area to digitalize in agricultural supply chain, e-market, advisory, food production, pest, water, logistic, natural research, weather, and the we call social network and farm mechanization. Right, these are the key area we have already identified to be invest. Right, when you look at the digital extension ecosystems, we can identify three level of hierarchy. Right? So there are three level of digital extension hierarchy. So first level is digital as usual. Digital as usual means that the product we use as usual that is available. The digital product we use as a usual way that is available. Right? Use digital as usual. And the digital enablers mean the second layer. That means that there are some functions are given to the end user. As functions are given to the end user, they can upload the products, they can define the price, like that, like a e-market platform, right? Digital disruptors means the completely new digital product. It is disrupt the entire ecosystem to achieve some new gap or new requirements of the farmer. These are the three hierarchical level we will discuss in details in next slide. One is as usual, and the digital as enablers, and digital as disruptors, right? Digital as usual, that means we are overreaching conventional extension and advisory functionalities. What do you mean that? So we use that digital platform to overreaching for conventional extension and advisory functionals, right? So as example, we can say it's a WhatsApp platform. So the WhatsApp is available with 2-3 functions. So we have to use that function. We can't change. We have to adapt with function. We can use that function as the usual way that is available, right? As example, so this as usual digital platform we can use for awareness creating. So example, that platform I mentioned, WhatsApp. We can send a lot of information, videos, photos through that platform, because it is already developed product. We can't change, right? It is, we have to use as a usual way, awareness creation. And the market information, so we can find a lot of market information via websites, app, or some social media like WhatsApp, like that. Information dissemination, market information, maybe other information dissemination, awareness creation, and the diagnose the problems, right? diagnose the problem. The farmers can send some pictures to the extension officers, and then extension officer use that. He can watch the picture and identify what is this problem, and then he can resolve the problem. So therefore, diagnose the problem. And the technology transferring, right? He can teach even so it's kind of digital as usual, the basic level, right? Zoom, Viber, WhatsApps, websites, YouTubes. Those are kind of products. It is usually available. We can't change the products product formats, right? Technology transfer, trainings, and the farmer feedbacks, the radio, TV, and video. These are some example, and decision support system. These are the characteristics of basic level in digital extension. Basic level is called usual level, right? We can use for creating awareness. So sending information, maybe market or maybe agronomy, diagnose the problem, technology transferring, training, farmer feedbacks. These are some characteristic of basic level or usual level. As example, Zoom, WhatsApp, Viber, YouTube, like example we can say. And the second level is it's an emerging functionality. So we call digital enablers. In second level, we give to the front user some additional functions. So additional access we release, so market access. So the online market platform, the producer or farmer can upload their products. He can define the prices. So he can share within social media. He can promote that product like that. So that is called digital enablers, market access, and great arbitrage. That means it's given some kind of additional supports. And the personalization in advisory. So in normal, in the usual way, the training is actually for entire all the farmers is one training, one information. So it's for common. But in the enablers, so the personalization advisory, so we can individually advise to the farmers, but enablers can the usual digital product also can use as enablers, but some authorities should be taken and inputs applied. And the digital solution or digital products we can produce based on the pre-production, production, and post-production of the cropping cycle, right? Digital solution. I'm coming to the talk about the digital solution in pre-production, production, and the post-productions, right, in the climbing side. And the value chain integrations and financial inclusion, maybe financial transaction, money sending and depositing, all are with some additional functions we call enabler levels, right? Third one is digital disruptors. These are new functions, new area is open for the end user or person or the customer, right? Sorry. So digital disruptors, that means the entirely new functions are given: data-driven personalizations, supply chain management, aggregation models, and coordination and transportation traceability, and the payment system, accessing to input and product, agricultural subsidies and remittance, the cloud, Internet of Things, AIs, big data analysis, and we call the distributed ledger system, ledger technology, DLT, GPS. These are the kind of disruptors we can additionally and can take a lot of information, as well as the complexity is very high. So these are the main three areas. Actually, please keep this in mind, because it is very important. The usual way, it's a basic approach in digital extension, creating awareness, sending information. No, because it is that product is limited for that services. In the enabler level, we are given some additional functions to the end user to access the market, supplying fruits, so moderating financial inclusion. As example, using the app, we can send the money, right? So that that decision taking authority has given to the user, given to the customer, like that, right? Enablers. And disruptor is traceability, cloud sourcing, like that. It's kind of high compared to more technology and more resourceful and more investments need to be there with disruptors. These are the three levels in digital extension or digital products or digital extension hierarchy, right? When you look at actually new extension is a new concept, so which mean that the person or which mean that the use of digital technology is the person who call new extensionist, right? New extensionist කියන්නේ අලුත් සංකල්පයක්. හරි, ඒකේ digital resources පාවිච්චි කරන කෙනා කියන තැන ඉඳන් තමයි අපි කතා කරන්නේ. New extensionist is kind of new concept, right? We talk about the person who use with the digital source compared to the previous decade, right? Pre-production, we have three stages in agricultural productions. You know that, I think. Pre-production, production, and the post-productions. Pre-productions means land preparations to seed applications or seed sowings, right? Land preparations to seed or planting, that is called pre-productions. And then call productions, then planting to harvesting, we call this a productions. Harvesting to end consumer, we call post-production or post-harvest, right? We have three stages: pre-productions, productions, and the post-productions. Pre-production mean land preparation to planting, production mean planting to harvesting, post-harvest or post-productions mean harvesting to consume, right? In new extension, it how we can approach with the extension product. In pre-productions, you know, at the before the start of the planting or agricultural manufacturing, training requirements and awareness is there, right? So how therefore we should know what are the products digitally available to find the training and the informations, right? Second one is input supply, where we can buy seeds, where we can buy the agrochemicals, fertilizer, e-market platform. So these are the, sometime in Sri Lanka scenario, it is hypothetically how we can buy fertilizer in e-market. It is kind of hypothetical, even even we can't supply fertilizer in the required demands today, or we don't have pesticide in the market today. People are very suffering without the limitations of the product in the market. But these are the scenarios we have to talk to how to supply inputs in e-market platforms. And right, how then the third one is the financial inclusion, how we can use different type of banking apps for sending money, purchasing inputs, and training to register with training programs locally or internationally, whatever use the money in the e-market, use the money with the digital products. And the weather informations we need actually when the rainfall come, when the rainfall will start, will stop, and what's the time we should start land preparation. So weather information are the key area the farmer should know, and the product also should be digitally available. So the new extension is at the time of pre-productions, this is the area we should put more attentions, right? And the fifth one is agri input directory, maybe fertilizer, maybe seeds, maybe machinery, maybe agrochemical. They should have a directory, who are the producer, who are the distributor, where are the shops available, how we can buy, it is available really. So agri input directory, and the products and product informations also. Information of government schemes, what's the types the fertilizer subsidy onset, or what's the time the urea can come to the market from the government side. These are the information. So the farmer should have access before start the crops. And the crop insurance in Sri Lanka, actually, this is not much popular area about the agricultural insurance schemes. It's not much popular, but still some companies are trying, but it's not much popular within farming community or agricultural community. So what are the insurance uh, uh, packages available for different crops and what are the coverages are given? So these are the things we have to consider before the productions. And the irrigations, maybe sprinkler installations, like things where we can buy, what are the prices like that. And the drone for decision making. So in some countries they use drone pictures for identify the nutrition level. I'm coming to that into the coming slide. How drone can be used for different decision making using the photographic technology. And the capacity buildings before the farming, so they should have some capacities to be considered. And where we can rental out the machinery, right? And the prior market information, so that means the market prices and the market intelligence, soil testing, and the protective structure installation. So these are the area the new extension should be considered in pre-production stage of the cropping cycle with the digital products. Some products are available, some products are not available for some area, but as an extension is in development extension, you should focus on these area before the production, or otherwise we call land preparations to planting. Right at the planting to harvesting, these are the new extension should focus. We call it a production stage. Production stage mean planting to harvest, right? These are the area new extension should focus. So linking farmer with exports, right? How that market should link with export market, and the crop and pest management advisories. So some still some apps are available for some product for actually coconuts like products. So there are pest and crop management advisories available, and the farmer forum platform, and the smart devices for agriculture, training and skill developments, some digital apps, prediction service, maybe market predictions, price predictions, and weather predictions, maybe what are the area prediction services at the time of farming, and the contact farming systems, and the drone for applications, chemical, fertilizer, and other things, right? Drone services for applications, and the seed multiplications, harvesting and post-harvest management. At the time of production, we must consider how to harvest, what kind of products we use, what kind of harvesting technology we use at the time of production. And the smart supply chain activities, these are the area the extension officer should be considered at the time of productions, right? At the time of production. After the harvesting, the farmer should know about how to grading it, how to packing it, and how to transport and the process, where the cold storage are available, right? So this information should digitally available to the farmer. So to know about where we can storage, that the storage is full or the space is available, how long it's that, what is the transport cost, what is the way should access, right? Actually, here we are talking about completely digitalize the agricultural supply chain, completely digitalize agricultural supply chain, how it's work, right? How to grade in, what kind of technology we use, what kind of machinery we use, right? How to package and transport, processing, cold storage, right? How to link buyer and seller, how to link. So maybe e-market platform or any other platform, maybe website, maybe other sources, right? To use to link buyer and seller, and the procurement producers from the farmer, linking consumer and farmer. So how to reduce the intermediaries using digital products, right? Linking consumer and farmer. This is one of main requirements in Sri Lanka, because there are a lot of intermediaries between consumer and producer. So if we reduce that intermediaries, so we can the consumer can enjoy kind of good prices from the farmer, and the aggregations, how to aggregate different platform into one place, and the digital payment systems, so how money directly transfer from buyer to the farmer accounts, like that. And the traceability, right? Traceability is one of key area is discussing in organic agriculture and some other agricultural area. So that means where these products came and how it produced, all the information should be available in digital platforms. And the storages, right, where the cold houses, warehouses available, e-vouchers, and these are the area your extension should consider with the digital products in the post-production or post-harvest productions, right? As an example, this is the main three segment actually what I discussed in previous 3 slides. You know that pre-production, production, and the post-production, now we call it a post-harvest 3 area. You know that weather and crop selection is at the time pre-productions. What is the crop we go? So therefore, the farmer should have that information, and digital extension advisory should be there. Always some modeling solution for big data. So weather and the crop selection, and then land selections and land preparations happening in the pre-productions, and the farming system, and what are the government schemes. So this is called, and the access to the credit at that time is the money is needed. So it's we can access for loan or credit facilities from bank or other services, right? Pre-productions. Then it come to the productions, land preparation and sowing and seeding, planting is there, and the input management, water and fertilizer management, pest management is the productions times. So at that times, these are the area we should more focus with the different digital products. And then it come to the marketing, transportation, packaging, and the food processing. So this is the time for post-production or post-harvest. So the digital networking, blockchain, and the mobile wallets, e-commerce, and remittance. At that times, this kind of products are needed and should be there to the access to the farmer, right? If you this is this picture is summarized last 3 slides, right? This is also the summarization of the what the entirely we discussed actually in the supply chain. You know, at the time of the input and output companies are there very beginning, right? There is an extension and advisory service where the forecast and what are the market prices and marketplaces and other services. And then geographical locations and information advisory service come in next stage, weather forecast, farm level, and social media and source are come. After that, the mobile money and the information and advisory service is coming at the time of production. We call is agricultural credit service, insurance is coming in a very later stage. From extension and advisory service, geographic locations, mobile money, traceability, all are coming at the later part. So it's the governments and the telecommunications providers are all are here, and the food processing companies and crop insurance companies are here. This is a summary how we can navigate entire digital agricultural development, right? So this is the basic about the digital agriculture. We discuss about the digital, what is mean by digital governance, right? These are the key area, and this is the ecosystem of digital extension ecosystem. These are the few models, and these are the few of Sri Lankan products available. This is the area we identified to be invest in future, or to be invest in today's scenario to development of agriculture sector from e-market to farm mechanization. This is most important you to further study or keep in mind, or some investments, right? When you look at the extension hierarchy, we can identify 3 levels: usual, enablers, and disruptors. Usual mean that we use that product as usual way. We use that product as it is available. We can't change the functions. What is available, we use for the awareness, create and market information, problem diagnosis, technology transfer, training, farmer feedback, like things. Right? Enablers means we give some additional functions to the front user, maybe access to the market, personal advisories, inputs, and the digital solution, pre-production and the post-production level, and the supply chain integrations and the financial inclusions. Financial inclusion, as I said, sending money, transaction, online payments, mobile banking, like things. Right? The disruptors mean is complete new functionalities. So data-driven personalization, supply chain management, kind of huge investments plus huge data is transference through of these disruptors. With it's not actually available in Sri Lankan scenario, but it's internationally as a company wise. This entire service given by one company, right? Cloud service, Internet of Things, AI, big data analysis, GPS. The big companies are given to the individual farmers. So these are not individual level available. It is a corporate level available digital products, right? When we look at that, the how new extensionist should focus. These are the area before the production, from training to structural installations. At the time of productions, from linking farmers to markets to and the supply chain activities. Those are the area he can use digital products. At the time of post-production, after the harvesting, from storage to consumer, the entire all the activities should we can digitalize, right? So that that all the three area we can summarize here and here, right? That is about the digital extension. When you look at this, there's a part of that we can use social media, right? That we have identified few challenges in use of social media for the extension purpose, right? Very small part in digital social media is small part, right? So here we have identified few because I am going to different technologies and different key areas in digital extension, right? These are the main 5 challenges we have identified the use of social media for extension. Actually, users are very passive. There are groups, communities, pages are very passive, and only few of are very proactive, and only few posts are shared and discuss about the ideas and issues. Because we have identified that the passive users, they use the social media for the relaxation, for enjoy, but not for serious use. They are not seriously use social media. That's a mindset we come in the last 5 point or so. Mindset of the users are not for serious business. Social media not for serious, right? That's the passive users the behavior. And the lot of informations are available, huge amounts. Majority of that information are, some are fake and some are irrelevant. So because of that, the use of social media for extension purposes are failed. The amounts are available are very high, and the quality and the accuracy of the information are sometimes not good, not in the expected level. Irrelevant information. Participation of agricultural stakeholder, use of activities only by specific type of user. So actually, we also have identified that participation of agricultural stakeholders. So that means that we have around 22 million populations. Also, we have more than 22 million mobile users, and we have huge numbers of Facebook accounts and other accounts. But if you really take what is the percentage of the farmers, so what is the percentage of rural farmer who use this media or this platform, or actually they will access, or actually do they know? That is one of drawbacks we are facing. We have data that huge amount of social media accounts, but actually target customers or stakeholders are really not there, right? Really not there. That's the problem we are facing. Huge numbers of accounts there, but real users are not there. And the infrastructure issues, so limited ICT infrastructure, internet connectivity, maybe still the what is called 3G, 4G reception availability is still poor. In telecommunication companies, they are telling they are 100% covered Sri Lanka with 3G, but actually when we go to different remote area, very difficult to access. So infrastructure issues and the mindset, right? Because of these challenges, the use of different digital product, as example, digital social media. So to use for the extension purpose or use for the development purpose is challenging. They are passive users, the information is irrelevant, and bulk information availability and stakeholders are not the infrastructure issue and the mindset, right? Social media. So to go way forward, actually, we should keep relevant and adding value to them and share the relevant informations to other user, because if you are personally or if you are in official level use some social media platforms or some digital products for to communicate with farmer or to communicate with the rural people or the remote personals. So keep in mind always to share in the relevance and adding value to them, to share in the relevant information with you, with the user, because the bulking and unrelevant or irrelevant informations coming to the farmers will damage to the quality of and the sustainability of use of the digital product for development to agricultural development. And we can use that products for awareness creation as well as the capacity building, still not considered as an important medium for advocacy. Actually, that social media and the digital product in Sri Lanka scenario, we have not still identified or still not considered as a important medium, because the people mindset is kind of fun users, kind of enjoyable purpose, not for serious users. They use the social media. So we try to do something professional, so some kind of advocacy, some kind of value additions, but actually the end user is not seriously consider it. And the sensible and institutionalization of social media is the key third area, and encourage self-publications and also collective contribution, because social media always mean that the self-publications, not the teamwork or not the collaborative productions. Social media itself define it as a platform for self-publication. So because of that, some errors is happening, but we should encourage self-publication also with collective contributions, right? We encourage with self-publication, but also with the collective contributions, right? And the fifth one is the choosing suitable mix of social media and appropriate content. So this is a area in digital platform, in the social media. There are huge numbers of type WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Google Plus, numbers of platforms are there, Instagram, right? So which is the correct match for our customer? What is the appropriate content? This is the area we should focus if you want to go forward with the digital products, because sometimes we make productions and we share with all the social media platform. We share to Facebook, we share to YouTube, we share to Instagram, we share to Twitter, but the correct feedback or correct results is not coming. So therefore we have to identify with the digital products where our customers is available, where the appropriate what is the appropriate content, how it produce, and how should mix suitable social media to achieve our development objectives, and how to satisfy the heterogeneous market. So because this is one of serious thing we have to focus. When you look at some market platforms, so imagine social media, imagine Facebook, the qualities of the participants are hugely diversified. Therefore, sending one image or sending one message is sometimes will not give correct results. The reason is the heterogeneity. So diversity is huge. and the change in sometimes change in institutional culture to use of social media. So use of digital platform or digital medias in some scenario actually very difficult, very difficult. So therefore, we have to change the institutional culture also to match with the digital platform or digital era. So the reason is actually the sometimes the head of the divisions and the top management is not tally with the technology. They don't aware about the digital products. So use of digital products, maybe they feel some fears. So we have to create that new culture, social media culture within the organization, right? So we have challenged the use of different digital products or digital social media products. So these are the challenges. So from passive user to mindset. So to go forward, we have to focus on this key area to correct the drawbacks of the use of technology, use of digital product, right? These are the few words, actually, few things you need to study more on the cloud computing and big data analysis tool. What are that? What is the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the distributors led technologies? These are the technologies available in agricultural development extension and development communications, some mobile phones and digital platform, e-commerce platform, and go advisory apps, e-extension websites, right? These are there. And the precision agriculture technologies, actually, these are technology plus digital hybrid product, actually sensors, food sensors, soil sensors are there. They are always hybrid with the IT products. So then it will automatically on time update the producer or sometime the farmer, right? Sensors and the guidance and tracking system, GPS, GNSS, RIPs are there, and the variable rate of input technologies. This is one of technology. Uh, they deliver the inputs with the requirements of the plants, not the blanketly sending inputs to the all the crops. Imagine if you have 10 plants, the requirement is vary with the plants. That input variable technology, they can automatically adjust the real requirement and send in the demands without sending the bulk amount or without sending the equal amounts to the plants. As the requirements, we can replace the requirement with the variable rate input technologies, right? Automatic section control system, these are actually used with sometime we call polytunnels, so the in-house agriculture. And the advanced imaging technologies, actually Bhavas also studies some technology, this kind of technology for identify the nutrient deficiencies in the tea plantation. That is one of success, right? We can use satellites or drone pictures to identify temperature gradient, fertilizer gradient, moisture gradients, so other insect attack. If you analyze the color range of the leaf or the infrared picture, so then we can identify, right, this area is high temperature, low temperature, fertilizer is this area is higher, this area is not, moisture level. With identify the infrared picture, we can have that information, right? Automatic machinery and agricultural robotics. So in Sri Lanka is not available, but some other country like Japan's, due to the availability of the human labors, so they already automatically adjust with the GPS locations that robotics are go to the field and do all the land preparations and come back. So these are the technology area we can focus, and cyber extensions, apps, WhatsApp. These are not new to you, right? These are the few case studies. If you actually, I did this, I put this to the slide. If you are interested to know more about, actually, I have given few of these are for your assignments. So if you have time to know more about digital extension, please go through these case studies. These case studies actually for the pre-productions before the land preparations to planting. These are the few technology they have used for the digital insurance scheme, different insurance scheme planning, and the money and saving, remittance, credit, and this money related products, and the livestock and dairy related products, Sri Lanka also the e-dairy information access. And at the time of production, input management and capacity harvesting, pest control, right? These are the few cases you can study more on if you interested to know more. And the Agri-Hub and SMEs and the value chain related cases. And the post productions, market access, FarmerNet, Sri Lanka, Soko, Hawaii, Kenya, eFuji. These are some examples after the productions, and the women's and youth SMEs, right? Transport and aggregated. So, so if you're interested to know more about the digital agricultural extension products, so please Google and study more on previous product, right? This is the last slide of the digital extension. So then we can start what is called mass media extension, right? So this is what is called assignment. I have assigned you 1 to 16. So you go through this title, and the assignment should be around 4 pages, so no more than 4 pages. So it is including title page, and give me a half an page introductions about this, what you are given about this title and how we can consider as a e-agricultural or digital products. Half an page introductions, and the as a digital extension product. So here then you discuss about 1.5 page what is important of these products and why this kind of products initiated as a digital products, what are the functionalities, how we can solve the product of that farmer or that country, right? Digital extension approaches, qualities, why it should invent like this in a 1.5 page should be there. And the conclusion and reference should be half an page. This is the assignment. So you should submit that assignments to me. How many weeks you want? 2 weeks?
At least 2 weeks, sir.
2 weeks? 3 weeks?
3 weeks is better, sir.
Okay. When you can submit it? Tell me the date. I can give 3 weeks, no problem. What you can do is
1st October.
It's great. Okay, no problem.
Before that, all the LMS notes, we don't have the only one note set, sir. We have already.
Yes, I will upload
LMS.
I will upload
it.
it.
LMS better, sir.
Yeah, I will upload the LMS, and also I will personally send the
email, sir, through email.
Yeah, through email. And
one email we got it, sir. Email and the recordings also we got it.
Yeah, okay. Others also I will upload to the LMS and what is called right. Okay, we discussed actually about digital extension and the digital hierarchy and what are the area we should focus on the agricultural development via the digital products. In this section, actually half an hour, 40 minutes, we will go through mass media in extension, how we can use different mass media, right? You know that mass medias are those channel communication that can expose the large numbers of people to the same information at the same time. That is called the mass media. So at the same times we can expose large number of people with this unique message, right? This is called mass media. they include actually sounds. It's a 3 area we are focusing in mass media as the sounds, radio, audio, and cassette. Actually these cassettes are now actually not much available. Radio and radio is actually little available, and the moving pictures, television, films, and videos, and the print media, poster, newspapers, and we call leaflets. Right? This is called the mass media, use of mass media, large time, same time with the large numbers of the people. Right? Attraction of the mass media to the extension service is kind of very high speed and the low cost, which can be communicated to the farmers with the wide area. Right, the low cost actually cost is low mean not actually the cost of production and the cost of disseminations of informations, but cost of production low cost mean actually per head cost. That is the cost per head, because we invest million of rupees, but with we consider the numbers of people who covered, then we can find out the per head cost. It is very cheap. Otherwise, production and transmission costs are very high, but the per head cost is kind of cheap. The cost of production and transmission is high, but the per head cost for delivering is cheap. And the mass media cannot do all the job of extension agents, because some people things that put into the media, and what is actually happen, that is what happens to the previous governments organic project. So we have experienced that mass medias and the different media platforms, they highly convinced that the going for organic agriculture can be done. It is possible. That huge campaign was there, but actually it was not planted in the field. So that's one of good example. Mass media cannot do all. They can make some kind of shock. They can make some technical information sense to the people, but the field application, practical skill developments, support services, personal advisories, answer the immediate questions, they cannot do. So this is one of limitations in the mass media. And they locals suggest that they should use for the track up shooters. That means the low cost mean always not encourage use for the all purpose, but with the use, so with the suitability we can find out, right? Spreading awareness of new ideas and creating interest in farming innovations, we can use mass media. Spreading or making awareness, it is kind of what is called is the usual way, right? The giving timely warning about the possible pest and disease outbreak, right? At the time of so we can predict and give warnings to the farmers for entire country, right? Urgent advices, what action you want to take. This is the kind of advantages of the mass media we can possibly use. And the multiplying the impact of extension activities, actually the you know that what is mean by extension, we can multiply the effect or impact of the extension activity, so we can superiorize. So otherwise we call the extension officer go to the field and advise to the farmer, and the same message is delivered to the farmer via mass media, so that in fact will be multiplied. So that repeatedness, right, can be increased using mass media. That is why we can increase the impact of the extension activity. And the demonstration will only be attained to the small numbers of farmers, but the result will reach many more if they are reported to newspaper and on the radio. So that means so we can do some small demonstrations to the few of farmer using mass media, right? Same time use mass media and the demonstrations to the small farmer, so that can telecast to the huge numbers of people, so that impact is huge, right? Right. So when you look at the specialty of the mass media, these are the specialty areas that mass media have, but not other media not have. So actually reinforcing or repeating informations and the advices. So we can enforce or reinforce again and again. We can enforce and we can repeatedly send that informations or advice to the farmers. But because the social media also we can use to repeat and reinforce, but actually the possibility of touch and the bulkness of information is very higher than the mass media in the social media, right? The informations and the content is huge in social media. So therefore, the repeating and the reinforcing is it is difficult. If you want to repeat and reinforce the same information to the same farmers, actually, you have to paid advertising with the social media, right? It will be remembers more easily, and it will be reinforced by the mass media, right? Using the variety of sources that are credible to the farmers. That means that we are using newspapers, we are using television advertising, radios, and same time extension officers is got to go to the field and advise. If that same information is coming to the farmer from different sources, that the credibility of that information will be rise, so will be increased, right? The use of variety of sources for one information will impact the credibility. So the farmer will believe it. So therefore, the one of the specialty in the mass media. And the farmer can brought into contact with successful farmers in the area. So that means that we can bring some success stories to the platform, and then we can create opportunities to share his experiences and knowledge with the other farmers. So we have some extension approach to share that success story with the farmer in ground level, but use of mass media, that will hugely impact, because it can access many millions of people at one time. So that sharing that experience or success stories will be give good feedback or good positive feedback to the system. So agricultural specialties, so political figures, we can bring into the one places and influence to the supply chain, right? This is one of specialty available in social media, you know that, right? If you want to use that social mass media effectively, these principles should be matched, right? These principles should be matched, because if this principle violated, the expectations of the mass media for the extension will not touch you. One is you should have access to the medium, right? In some area, we imagine that televisions, some television channels are not available, not shown, so the people can't tune it, right? Therefore, the access to the medium is number one requirement. So we are telecast using this channel, but that channel should be clear to that area. The access should be there and be exposed to the message. Or the second thing is, there are a lot of channels available. The farmers have their own preferences, right? So at the same time that the message is telecasting, farmer should tune up, farmer should tune that channels, right? Be exposed to the message. Otherwise, if he can go with any other channels, he will not expose to the channel. So because of that, the sender have to use different type of channels, different type of media. So private channel, government channels, or international channels. He have to use many channels to send that message to the farmers. Then that possibilities will be very higher. That is why the same message sending through different media to increase the effectiveness or the exposure of the farmers, right? And but do they listen to the farm broadcast? So they have to listen. They have to pay attention to the message, right? Pay attention to the message. They show there, they should be there. They should pay attention to the message, and the information must be attractively present and relevant to them. So if the information also should be relevant and the attractive and the understand of the message. It should be available with their languages. This will available there with scenarios. If not, they will not understand. Therefore, if you use mass media, we have to consider the access and the expose to the message, and the attentions and the attractiveness and the understand. So this principle violate on somewhere. So the effectiveness or the expectations of the sender will not touch you, right? So this is the things we have to consider when you use mass media for agricultural extension, right? Right. Give me a 1 minute, please. Right. Sorry for that. There was a background noise. I want to mute it. So that the function of mass media, actually, you know that there are a lot of functions are there. You know that development, information, sending, sensors, entertainment, symbolic function, advertisements are there. At the same time, development is also one of main area to be considered in the mass media. That is why development extension people who considers the mass media as a one of area to be considered. So development communication that focus on the need of the underprivileged and the opposed to their socio-economic and cultural interests. Right? The developments of the country, developments of the agricultural value chain, development of the rural area, one of function of the mass media. So we have to know that. So the most of mass medias actually they don't worry about the developments. They just go with only entertainments and the advertisements only. Right? Functions of mass communications, actually the improving communication capacities of the agricultural extension system. It is how we can the use that function of mass communications to the agricultural system, extension system. Actually, it will improve the communication capacities. It will give some capacities to the extension officers, to the farmers, to all this, or the level of all the segments in the value chain, and then it will integrates the media. It will integrates the media. Then can farmer, then he can records the key farmer speak and then put it to the social media, put it to the media and some other YouTube and social media. Then it is can integrate it, right? And it is a quick delivery of information and helpful during the emergency situation. It is kind of helpful, create an interest among the audience because it is kind of use kind of attractive pictures, videos, photos, musics, and the backgrounds, what is called animations like that. So the attractiveness and interest are there, and the helpful in filling the communication gap between farmer and extension system, because always there is a gap between farmer and extension system, right? It is due to because the capacity of existing extension system to fill the gap is not always what is called perfect. So always there is a gap. So to fill this gap, actually the mass communication can play that role. And the live telecast is possible from the area with the what is called farm TV sets, and the demonstration of new techniques is possible. We can use the mass media and can demonstrate new technique and helpful to literate as well as illiterate farm woman. Actually, not woman, even the men. We can use that for literate people or illiterate people, people who educated to and uneducated. We can use social mass media to educate them. But the characteristic, when you look at it's kind of one-way communication. Actually, always the information is sending. But if it is not live, and if you give ask the question, if we not give ask the question, it is always one communication platform. So always there are some questions or something to clear by the farmer, but it is difficult. Always we have to absorb the what is communicated by themselves. An audience has a great deal of choice. So the farmers, they can choice. They can close down the TV, they can close the radio, they can change the channel. So it is a choice with them. And reach large and vast audience. One of characteristic aim of message to attract the large audience can be possible. Influence the society, and the turn of influence by the society. We can use the social mass media to influence the society. Same time, the society also can influence to the mass media. The use of advantage, so mass media advantage, actually is no need to worry that you can reach more people quickly and per head cost is low. Can be used to tell people about the new idea and service, agenda setting and advocacy, create favorable climates and of opinions. Disadvantages, actually the fixed message can be easily misunderstood, access to often difficult, some kind lack of feedback, and difficult to make specific for local communities, because entire country one message. So the Anuradhapura to Polonnaruwa to Jaffna to Vavuniya, we can specify the problem, the entire country one message. One of disadvantages mass media have. Also, these 4 areas, it's not appropriate. Changing the behavior of rooted culture. Imagine in some cultures they have some rooted behavioral patterns. We can't change, which are enforced by the social norms. We can't change using the using the mass media. And the empowerment promoting. We can send information, but empowerments we cannot promote using the mass media. And the learning practical skill, we can demonstrate, but you can't practical things teach them. And the developing skill informations on decision making, how to take decisions, how to take this kind of, how to select this kind of technology matching, that kind of things you can't do using mass media. Is not appropriate for that. So when you are selecting the audiovisual material for the development purpose, so these 4 area, 5 area actually have to consider. One is authority preference. There are some authorities to recommend material to be used. Some companies, some public institute, they are defined. So this is the media you have to use for this purpose, right? It was instructional task and aim of the objective of teaching. So examine your objective. It's depend on what the media you use is depend on your objective. Operating versatility can be material be easily manipulated by you as a very complex, right? Operating versatility. And the instructional uses that can be medium enable the agents to arrange or more effective instructional environment which can help and learner can learn more and better, right? This depend on what the audiovisual materials or audio material medium you should is depend on the authority, instructional objective, and the operating versatility and the users. And also depend on the characteristics of the learner, maybe age and the level of experience and the knowledge he have and educational background and attitude. So these are the 5 areas when you use, when you select audiovisual material or audiovisual meaning or media to send some development message. Right, and the 6th one is the quality or beauty, or we call authentic considerations and safety and easy use, and the scopes and the prices. Right, these are the actually rough guideline, rough discussion about the use of mass media. You know that mass media you can use large number of people at the same time, sounds, moving pictures and things. These are the qualities we can prohibit cost is less, and we cannot complete extension job with always with use of mass media, right? Spreading awareness. These are the characteristics. These are the specialty. We can repeating information and advices like that. Characteristics are there, and this principle should be matched with always to be effective communication with mass media from medium message and pay attention and the understanding of the message. This is one of main function of the mass media is a development. That is why we discuss it here. So to use of that function for mass communication is development. Actually, it is help to improve the communication capacity, integrated and quick delivery, right? Emergency information sending, create interest, and fill in the gap between the extension system and the farmer and the relevant informations and demonstrations. And we can use with educated people or uneducated people. So this function should be used for the development via the mass media. So these are the few characteristics. Is one way, right? It is the audience has choice, and it's a large reach is there. Also vast reach also there. Message can send to the large audience, but it can be influenced by the society. It's a mutual. Society can influence the message also, right? Advantages, few of fear. And these are the disadvantages of mass media, right? Few. And the mass media cannot be used for this kind of thing, change in behavior, promoting empowerment, and the sending learning practical skill and decision making like attitudinal change. Right? Selection audiovisual materials depend on these 8 characters. right? From what are those authoritative references to what is called scope and price, right? These are the things actually I would like to share with you today. Today we actually discuss about mainly digital extension, right? What is called digital and mass media extension. First half we discuss about digital extension, digital governance, right? These are the importance of digital governance. This is digital extension ecosystem and a few model of them and Sri Lankan few products. And this is the area we have to more consider in development of the digital products. And then we discuss about the 3 levels of the digital hierarchy. I'm having some sounds from here. Sheraton, can you mute it? Right, 3 hierarchy we identified. One is usual, enablers, and disruptors. Right, what is this? Then usual level. Usual level means that we use digital product as it is without changing. And the digital enablers, we are given some additional functionalities to the end user. And the disruptors is kind of cooperative level is big product, right? Then we have we call 3 levels: production, pre-production, production, and post-production. Then these are the area we should consider in pre-production, production, and the post-production. This is the summary of that. And then we particularly consider that how the challenges in social media, right? So if you want to go forward with them, these are the area you should consider, and these are the few technologies available and to consider. These are the few what is called case studies of different digital products. So then we go with mass communication, sound, moving pictures, and print, and we discuss about the what are the specialty in mass media. And if you want to successfully give some message to effectiveness, so this principle should be matched. And the function of the mass media is the development. So we have to use that function for this purpose to fulfill actual improving communication capacities, integrations, quick delivery, and emergency situation, create interest like things, right? So the characteristics, and we have identified the advantages and disadvantages, and we can't use mass media for these 4 purposes. And when you select different mass media or audiovisual material, you should think about these 8 scopes when you select in the media or materials, right? This is the things actually I would like to share or discuss with you, and thank you very much. And the thing, please go through your case study thoroughly and send on the date, right? Do you have anything to ask from me or to be cleared?